Oh boy. Brace yourself, guys. This one is going to hurt. Telltale Games, the mighty have indeed fallen, having recently declared bankruptcy and releasing all their employees without severance pay. The closure of the game studio, the laying off of employees, the cancellation of the final season of Telltale's The Walking Dead, combined with the fact that their former employees are attempting to sue Telltale for unfair dismissal, rightfully so I might add, and rumours are starting to circulate that Telltale are looking for investors to see if they can get the final season of The Walking Dead finished, all while not paying their fucking employees their severance pay. This is truly an utter tragedy. Telltale's The Walking Dead is one of my favourite video games of all time. A beautiful adaptation of Robert Kirkman's original idea. Telltale's The Walking Dead's first season was a masterful piece of work, from its comic book art style to its superb voice acting, amazing writing and soundtrack. It was a true masterpiece of interactive media that resonated with me and made me grow attached to these characters. The character of Clementine is one of the most well-written video game characters ever. And the fact now that the game has been cancelled due to the closure of Telltale Games is an utter tragedy. So why is it when the final season rolled around, I had a I'll get it soon attitude? Telltale followed a very strict formula. I mean, it was hard to believe once upon a time that Telltale's formula could do wrong. It seemed like one of the most easily bankable investments it could make. Licensing an established IP, crafting an adventure game which focused on characters and plot, and it became instantly recognizable. And that in itself was the problem. It was a little too easy to make, and by God did they milk it for every penny that it was worth. After Telltale The Walking Dead was a success, they flooded the market with so many games that followed this formula I could barely even keep track. There was The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead Season 2, Tales from the Borderlands, Minecraft Story Mode, Game of Thrones, Batman the Telltale series, The Walking Dead The New Frontier, Guardians of the Galaxy the Telltale series, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Batman the Enemy Within, and now the cancelled mid-season finale of The Walking Dead. The games became barely distinguishable from one another, each presenting itself as a narrative-driven story built upon our choices, that every decision had consequence, a fabrication really. In truth, it was a very linear story-based adventure structure, and the decision that you did make really had no impact on the overarching story. Many a times you were called upon to save a certain person's life or let them die. This would result in two outcomes. Either they were so insubstantial in any way to the actual story, or they would die anyway in some sort of action completely out of your control. And at first it was a good bit of an illusion, but as Telltale released game after game after game, they continued pulling the same tactics over and over, and soon you cottoned on to what was going on. Fatigue soon followed, and as a result, the announcement of bankruptcy shows us that people were getting tired of this. Never adjusting, never evolving, always using the same outdated engine and an increasingly outdated concept. Always sticking to their comfort zone, never mixing anything up, never trying anything new. It's ironic for a company that was once considered innovative and pioneering, and of course this resulted in an eventual spiral of diminishing returns and eventually an allegedly very toxic working environment. There was a managerial restructuring with a vow to refocus its efforts and bring higher quality products, but by then the damage was already done, and nothing could bring it back from its eventual demise. I mourn this company, I truly do, but I'm not surprised. So I say to this, publishers, companies, take note. People do burn out. People do get tired of the same thing over and over and over. It's unfortunate that people seem contented to not learn. And unfortunately, even worse, that the bigger companies have the financial backing to be able to survive such, while the little Telltale train that could eventually just stopped working. To the employees who were laid off recently and their families, I want to say that my heart goes out to you. In this dark time, I'm sure eventually you will land on your feet. Oh, and by the way, to those of you who are going around demanding that these former Telltale employees finish the final season for free because you obviously don't understand how the fucking world works, I say this. Fuck off, okay? I can tell you they're having enough of a bad time with the stability of their livelihood being ripped from underneath them. They don't need fuckwits like you going around harassing hard-working developers, trying to bully them into giving you the game that you feel you deserve like an entitled little shit that you are, without proper compensation. The problem was never the talent behind the games that were made, it was the poor mismanagement of the company itself, the decision to oversaturate the entire market with basically the same game. It's a true disappointment, but you shouldn't go around harassing people into trying to give you the game you feel you are owed. It never works, and it never has. So don't be a dick is what I'm saying, okay? I mean, I feel weird having to actually tell you that, but I guess that's the world we live in now, so don't be a dick. That's my job. Quick shout out right now to my first ever patron, Brandon. Thank you so much for being my first ever patron. You have no idea how much this means to me. And if you want to help support the channel, you can go right over to my Patreon. The link is in the banner on my channel. Any sort of donation goes straight back into the channel and any third-party work that may be needed. See you all next time.